Hey YouTube, good morning. Brian here. Welcome to Forex and Faith. This is a channel where we chit chat about whatever, finances, faith, fishing, and I share some insights with you from my quiet time each morning period. I had a good time with the Lord this morning. This is a very appropriate topic for today. I was reading Matthew 11, and Matthew 11:28 through 30, I think, is a well-known verse you'll recognize, where Jesus says, "Come to me, all ye who are burdened," etc., etc. And he says at the end of that, I'll give you rest. My yoke is easy and my burden is light. My yoke is easy and my burden is light. And I asked God, what does that mean? Easy and light, because for most of us, at many points in our lives, at many points in our day, things don't seem easy or light, and so what does that mean? And I kind of sat with him for a while, and I heard from him, and he told me what it means, and I wanted to share that with you. So the first part of that has to do with the yoke, and he says the yoke is easy. And I asked him, okay, what is the yoke and what is it that's easy? And he gave me one word. He said, believe. Believe. So to unpack that just a little bit, the yoke that we are to carry on us is the yoke of belief. And on the one hand, all you gotta do is believe it. That's why it's so easy. Like, you don't have to build some crazy thing. You just gotta believe. And so on the one hand, yeah, I get it. It doesn't require any money. It doesn't require any time. It doesn't require a business entity or some big structure. No, you just got to believe. So yes, it's easy. And he mentioned, he showed me an example is a young child, a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old. They just believe stuff. They believe. So without getting into too many examples of parents, but that's what he shared with me. A 3-year-old might very easily, let's say, believe in Santa, or believe that their parent is going to provide food for them for their meals. So now as an adult, I completely 100% understand it gets harder. The older we get, the harder it is to believe. But he said, when I asked him, what do you mean? What do you mean your yoke is easy? He said, no, just believe it, just like a child. Like a child will believe it, I need you to believe it. So chew on that for a while. The next portion of that was the burden, and he said the burden is light. Okay, so I'm like, all right, we got the yoke part. The yoke is easy, and what does the burden being light mean? And he gave me an image. He gave me an image of my head, and the image was when Christ was walking through the streets, carrying the cross on his shoulder towards Calvary, towards his own crucifixion. And the burden being light for Christ, this is what he showed me, was his choice to do that. The choice was light. The choice to carry the cross to his own death, his atoning sacrifice. The choice was easy. What wasn't easy was actually carrying the cross physically. He had been tortured and was getting ready to be tortured more. And he had a extremely heavy cross that he was dragging through the streets. So obviously, the physical burden of carrying that cross was unbelievably difficult. But the choice to go was light. And he had joy and ease and peace with regards to the decision. And so there, as I kind of, that was neat. I mean, that, God shared that with me. And so as I began to kind of chew on that a little bit, and all right, so I get it. How does that, how does that apply? And for us, there is and will be and needs to be and should be a distinction between our choice to do something and then the actual delivery of that, us doing it, us walking it out, us being disciplined. So making the choice versus actually walking it out every day, which obviously is extremely difficult. Loving your children is easy, but in the day-to-day situations, when you're frustrated and your patience is low and you didn't get any sleep last night, doing those things are immeasurable. They're very hard. It could apply to work. It could apply to anything that you're trying to do. The decision is easy, but the day-to-day is hard. And so to sum it up, I want to give you a little bit of encouragement that it's okay for there to be this duality of, hey, this is what I want to do, but it's hard. This is what I should do, but it's hard. This is what God calls me to do, but it's hard. Jesus walked in that same duality. As he was going to the cross, he had such joy in his heart somewhere. The decision, the choice was easy because he knew what it was going to accomplish. He knew the victory that it was going to accomplish, the rewards that were going to come to him and come to us from that, through that. That being said, taking those stripes on his back was not easy. It was horrible. Dragging that crucifix, that cross through the streets while people mocked him, spit on him, was horrible. So Jesus knows, understands, walked in the duality of the physical and the spiritual, the duality of choices versus making those, walking those choices out. And so that's what I wanted to share with you today. It's okay for you to hang out in that place where, man, I got this duality of things being easy and difficult at the same time, things being light and hard at the same time. And so don't beat yourself up here on earth while we're here. We live in this place of duality, and that's okay. At some point in the future, we will transition to such glory that we won't have to walk in and deal with that duality anymore. There will be a singularity, and that singularity is glory and unity with God, and it's going to be beautiful. So I hope that was a blessing to you. See you guys on the next one. Bye.